My wife told me, "He makes me feel alive again. You're just a boring provider." When I found her packing our belongings along with the $380,000 house down payment we had saved over 15 years of marriage. My name is Robert Spencer, 48 years old, financial advisor with 22 years of wealth management experience specializing in asset protection strategies for high net worth professionals. I had built our financial foundation through systematic investment planning and comprehensive legal structures designed to protect accumulated wealth from exactly this type of emotional manipulation and impulsive decision-making. When Jennifer Spencer declared that my best friend Marcus Thompson had helped her empty our joint savings account that morning because systematic financial planning is boring compared to passionate romance, I simply said, "I hope you find the happiness you're seeking." What Jennifer didn't realize was that my methodical approach to wealth management included sophisticated asset protection protocols and irrevocable trust structures that would prevent unauthorized access to our primary investment portfolio worth over $850,000 in accumulated assets. The confrontation occurred in our master bedroom on a Tuesday evening when I returned from a client meeting to find Jennifer systematically packing designer clothes and personal belongings into matching luggage sets that I had purchased for our anniversary trip to Europe. "Robert, I've been unhappy for years while you've been obsessed with spreadsheets and investment portfolios," Jennifer announced while folding cashmere sweaters with practiced efficiency. "Marcus understands that life should be about passion and adventure, not endless financial planning meetings." I maintained professional composure while noting the calculated nature of Jennifer's departure timing and the presence of our joint account banking information spread across the dresser. "I understand that our approaches to life and relationships have grown incompatible," I replied, while observing the systematic way Jennifer had been preparing for this departure. "What timeline are you considering for finalizing arrangements?" Jennifer paused her packing and looked directly at me with an expression that mixed determination with what appeared to be rehearsed justification. "Marcus and I are leaving tonight for California. We're starting fresh with the house down payment money as seed capital for his new business venture." The casual reference to seed capital suggested that Marcus had been coaching Jennifer about financial terminology and business justifications for what amounted to systematic theft of marital assets. "Which specific accounts did you access for this venture?" I asked while mentally reviewing the asset protection structures I had implemented throughout our marriage. Jennifer gathered her jewelry box with visible satisfaction. "I withdrew everything from our joint checking and savings accounts this morning. $380,000 should provide an excellent foundation for Marcus's consulting practice in Los Angeles." I thanked Jennifer for her direct communication about the financial arrangements and wished her success with the new venture. Then I began systematic review of our comprehensive asset protection portfolio. The automated financial monitoring systems I had implemented sent immediate alerts whenever significant transactions occurred across our various investment vehicles and protected accounts. What I discovered during the first hour of analysis confirmed that Jennifer had accessed only the joint operational accounts, while the majority of our accumulated wealth remained secure in protected investment structures. The $380,000 Jennifer had withdrawn represented our liquid savings for house purchases and short-term expenses, but constituted less than 30% of our total investment portfolio. Jennifer accessed joint checking and savings accounts totaling $380,000, I documented, while reviewing automated transaction alerts. Primary investment vehicles remain protected through irrevocable trust structures requiring dual authorization. The comprehensive estate planning I had established included multiple layers of asset protection specifically designed to prevent emotional decision-making from destroying years of systematic wealth accumulation. I called my estate planning attorney, David Patterson, who had helped structure our asset protection protocols during the early years of our marriage. "David, I need consultation about asset recovery procedures following unauthorized withdrawal of joint account funds," I explained during our confidential phone call. "Jennifer has withdrawn $380,000 from operational accounts while attempting to leave our marriage." David had handled similar situations throughout his career and immediately understood the implications of my systematic asset protection planning. "Robert, Your trust structures and protected investment accounts should limit her access to joint operational funds, David noted. The irrevocable trusts containing your primary wealth require notarized dual signatures and attorney oversight for any withdrawals. The evidence I was compiling showed that Jennifer had coordinated her departure with Marcus while systematically studying our financial arrangements to identify accessible funds. Jennifer's withdrawal timing suggests months of planning rather than spontaneous emotional decision-making, I documented. Her coordination with Marcus indicates systematic asset theft rather than legitimate marital separation. The financial protection strategies I had implemented were proving essential for preserving the wealth we had accumulated through decades of systematic investment planning and professional success. David reviewed my preliminary situation and immediately recommended comprehensive documentation of unauthorized transactions while implementing additional protective measures. Robert, we need to secure all remaining assets immediately while documenting the unauthorized nature of Jennifer's account access, David advised. Jennifer's confidence about accessing our accumulated wealth was about to encounter the sophisticated asset protection structures that had been specifically designed to prevent this type of financial manipulation. Have you ever discovered that systematic financial planning and comprehensive asset protection could prevent unauthorized access to accumulated wealth during emotional relationship crises? Professional wealth management requires verification through legal structures when trusted relationships become exploitative. My 22-year career in wealth management had been built on the foundation of comprehensive asset protection and systematic financial planning that protected client wealth from emotional decision-making, relationship manipulation, and unauthorized access during personal crises. The expertise I had developed in fiduciary responsibility and legal asset protection had been applied to my own financial planning with the same rigor I provided to high-net-worth clients facing complex wealth preservation challenges. I had established Spencer Wealth Management in 2002 after 12 years with regional investment firms, where I had specialized in estate planning and asset protection for affluent professionals, business owners, and retired executives who needed sophisticated strategies for preserving accumulated wealth across multiple generations. Robert's systematic approach to asset protection and wealth preservation provides comprehensive security that protects family wealth from emotional manipulation and unauthorized access, noted longtime client testimonial from medical practice owner Dr. Patricia Martinez. The wealth management philosophy I had developed emphasized systematic investment planning, combined with comprehensive legal structures that could withstand relationship changes, emotional crises, and attempts at financial exploitation by family members or associates. Spencer's methodology creates multiple layers of protection that ensure accumulated wealth serves its intended purposes rather than being diverted through emotional decision-making, explained satisfied client endorsement from technology executive Michael Torres. The personal financial planning Jennifer and I had developed reflected the same systematic approach I recommended to clients facing similar wealth protection challenges. Our $850,000 investment portfolio was structured through irrevocable trusts, protected retirement accounts, and dual authorization investment vehicles that required careful legal procedures for any modifications. Jennifer had joined our relationship in 2009 when my wealth management practice was expanding beyond my individual capacity to serve the growing number of clients requiring sophisticated asset protection and estate planning services. Jennifer's background in client relations and administrative management will complement your technical expertise in wealth management and legal protection, I had reasoned when discussing her involvement in both our business and personal financial planning. Jennifer brought solid organizational skills and demonstrated competence in client communication, though her attitudes towards systematic financial planning and legal asset protection had always created some tension within my methodical approach to wealth preservation. Robert, your documentation requirements and legal structures make our finances unnecessarily complicated, Jennifer had complained regularly during our quarterly financial reviews. Wealthy couples don't need excessive legal protection for routine investment decisions. I had consistently explained that comprehensive asset protection was essential for preserving wealth against unpredictable relationship changes and emotional decision-making that could destroy decades of systematic accumulation. Jennifer, asset protection structures ensure that emotional decisions don't compromise long-term financial security, I would respond during our planning discussions. Systematic legal protection serves both partners' interests regardless of relationship dynamics, but Jennifer viewed comprehensive asset protection as obstacles to financial flexibility rather than essential safeguards for wealth preservation during uncertain periods. Complex legal structures prevent spontaneous investment opportunities and lifestyle decisions, Jennifer had argued during our annual estate planning reviews. The philosophical differences between Jennifer and my approach had been manageable when she participated in our systematic financial planning while maintaining traditional joint accounts for operational expenses and short-term purchases. The irrevocable trust structures I had established contained the majority of our investment portfolio, including retirement accounts, real estate investments, and long-term equity positions that had appreciated significantly over 15 years of systematic wealth accumulation. Our protected investment accounts ensure that accumulated wealth serves long-term financial security rather than short-term emotional decisions, I had explained to Jennifer during trust establishment procedures. The automated monitoring systems I had implemented provided comprehensive tracking of all investment vehicles, trust account activity, and unauthorized access attempts that would expose financial manipulation or theft. But Jennifer had apparently been studying our financial arrangements while coordinating with Marcus to identify assets that could be accessed without triggering the comprehensive protection protocols I had established. The joint checking and savings accounts that Jennifer had accessed represented operational funds for house purchases, vacation expenses, and short-term financial needs that required accessibility without complex legal procedures. Joint operational accounts provide financial flexibility while protected trusts preserve long-term wealth accumulation, I had documented during our financial planning discussions. Jennifer's systematic withdrawal of $380,000 from these operational accounts suggested months of preparation and coordination with Marcus, rather than spontaneous emotional decision-making. The timing of Jennifer's departure coincided with her gaining access to our annual financial statements and trust documentation that revealed the full scope of our wealth protection structures. Jennifer's recent questions about trust account access and estate planning procedures suggest systematic study of our asset protection arrangements, I had noted in financial planning documentation. The relationship dynamics that had led to Jennifer's departure reflected her growing frustration with my systematic approach to both financial planning and personal relationships, which she characterized as boring compared to Marcus's more emotional and spontaneous lifestyle. Marcus Thompson had been my closest friend for over 15 years, with extensive knowledge of my financial planning methods and professional success that had apparently made him an ideal co-conspirator in Jennifer's asset theft scheme. Marcus understands our financial arrangements and asset protection structures through years of personal friendship, I documented. His involvement in Jennifer's departure suggests systematic exploitation of insider knowledge. The professional reputation I had built through ethical wealth management was being tested by the personal betrayal of both my spouse and closest friend, who were attempting to steal assets while exploiting my trusted relationships. The systematic asset protection I had implemented was proving essential for preserving wealth that Jennifer and Marcus had apparently been planning to exploit for their personal benefit. Have you ever realized that professional expertise in asset protection becomes personally essential when trusted relationships become exploitative? Comprehensive wealth management requires the same systematic protection strategies, whether threats come from external sources or intimate betrayal. The comprehensive analysis I conducted during my first week after Jennifer's departure revealed that her asset theft wasn't a spontaneous emotional decision during relationship crisis, but a carefully coordinated scheme developed with Marcus over several months to systematically study our wealth protection structures and identify vulnerabilities for unauthorized financial access. My forensic review of financial records and account activity showed that Jennifer had been systematically researching our trust arrangements and asset protection protocols while coordinating with Marcus to plan optimal timing for maximum financial theft with minimal legal consequences. Jennifer's account access patterns over the past 6 months show systematic study of trust documentation and estate planning materials. I documented while reviewing automated security logs. Her research activities suggest premeditated asset theft rather than emotional response to relationship problems. The sophistication of Jennifer's scheme included coordination with Marcus to understand the legal limitations of joint account access while identifying the operational funds that could be withdrawn without triggering comprehensive asset protection protocols. Jennifer and Marcus systematically studied our financial arrangements to identify accessible assets while avoiding protected investment vehicles, I noted in my evidence compilation. Their coordination proves deliberate theft planning rather than impulsive emotional decision-making. But Jennifer had made critical errors that would expose her systematic fraud and provide overwhelming evidence for asset recovery and potential criminal prosecution for theft of marital property. The automated financial monitoring systems I had implemented captured every account access, document review and transaction inquiry that Jennifer had conducted during her preparation for unauthorized asset withdrawal. Jennifer's digital footprint shows systematic access to protected financial documents and trust materials that she used to plan unauthorized asset theft. I compiled. The technical evidence proves premeditated financial fraud rather than legitimate marital separation. The estate planning attorney David Patterson reviewed my expanded evidence compilation and immediately recognized the systematic nature of Jennifer's asset theft and the potential for both civil recovery and criminal charges. Robert, Jennifer's activities show classic patterns of systematic asset theft, involving trusted insider knowledge and coordinated financial fraud, David observed. The documented evidence proves deliberate violation of fiduciary duties and potential criminal theft of marital assets. The technical methods Jennifer had used to facilitate her financial theft included creating copies of trust documentation and estate planning materials that she provided to Marcus for analysis of our wealth protection vulnerabilities. Jennifer systematically copied confidential financial documents and shared them with Marcus for planning unauthorized asset access. I documented. Her breach of financial confidentiality enabled coordinated theft of marital property. The bank transaction records revealed that Jennifer had been conducting test withdrawals and account inquiries for weeks before her departure to verify her access limitations and identify optimal withdrawal timing. Jennifer's banking activity shows systematic testing of account access limits and withdrawal procedures, I noted. Her preparation activities prove deliberate theft planning rather than spontaneous financial decisions. Most concerning was Jennifer's coordination with Marcus to research divorce law and asset division procedures to understand how unauthorized asset withdrawal might be characterized as legitimate marital property access. Jennifer and Marcus studied divorce law to justify unauthorized asset theft as legitimate marital property division, I documented. Their legal research proves systematic planning to exploit marital property laws for financial theft. The timeline analysis revealed that Jennifer's asset theft acceleration coincided with Marcus's business failures and mounting personal debt that created financial pressure for both conspirators. Jennifer's withdrawal timing correlates with Marcus's business financial crisis, I calculated. Their coordination suggests mutual financial desperation rather than romantic relationship development. David recommended immediate asset recovery procedures and comprehensive legal action to prevent Jennifer and Marcus from hiding or transferring stolen marital assets. Robert, we need emergency legal intervention to recover stolen assets before Jennifer and Marcus can transfer funds beyond recovery reach, David advised. Their systematic theft justifies immediate court intervention. The criminal implications were significant. Jennifer's systematic theft of marital assets, combined with Marcus's conspiracy and insider knowledge, constituted multiple violations that could result in substantial financial penalties and potential imprisonment. Jennifer's documented activities violate state theft statutes and marital property laws, while Marcus's participation constitutes conspiracy and aiding theft, David explained. The systematic nature of their financial fraud supports enhanced criminal penalties. The evidence preservation process required securing all digital records, financial documents, and communication logs before Jennifer realized that her theft had been comprehensively documented through automated monitoring systems. We need to preserve all evidence immediately while implementing additional asset protection measures, David advised. Jennifer cannot be allowed to destroy records or access additional protected accounts. The irrevocable trust structures I had established were performing exactly as designed, preventing unauthorized access to our primary wealth while providing comprehensive documentation of attempted financial manipulation. Your systematic asset protection has prevented major financial loss while creating overwhelming evidence of attempted theft, David observed. The trust structures are working precisely as intended. The divorce proceedings that Jennifer would inevitably initiate would encounter comprehensive evidence of her systematic asset theft and coordination with Marcus, creating significant legal liability for both conspirators. Jennifer's systematic theft creates substantial legal exposure that will affect divorce proceedings and asset division, David noted. Her criminal activities eliminate most negotiation leverage. The automated monitoring systems were providing real-time tracking of any additional financial activities by Jennifer or Marcus, ensuring comprehensive protection for remaining assets while building criminal evidence. Your financial monitoring systems provide complete surveillance of any additional theft attempts, David explained. The comprehensive documentation eliminates most defense strategies. Jennifer's confidence about accessing our accumulated wealth was about to encounter sophisticated asset protection and legal enforcement that would expose every aspect of her systematic financial fraud while ensuring complete asset recovery. The systematic approach to wealth protection that I had implemented was transforming attempted asset theft into comprehensive evidence for both civil recovery and criminal prosecution of coordinated financial fraud. Have you ever discovered that systematic financial monitoring could provide comprehensive evidence of coordinated asset theft by trusted family members and associates? Professional wealth management systems sometimes become essential tools for exposing sophisticated financial fraud disguised as marital property disputes. The strategic legal response that David Patterson developed required careful coordination between asset recovery procedures, criminal referral documentation, and divorce proceedings to maximize wealth preservation while ensuring appropriate accountability for Jennifer's systematic theft and Marcus's conspiracy to defraud marital assets. Robert, Jennifer's systematic asset theft creates exposure under state theft statutes, marital property laws, and criminal conspiracy regulations, David explained during our comprehensive strategy session. The evidence you've compiled supports simultaneous civil asset recovery and criminal prosecution that will ensure complete financial protection. The emergency court intervention strategy focused on Jennifer's unauthorized withdrawal of marital assets and Marcus's conspiracy to facilitate systematic theft that warranted immediate judicial protection and asset freezing orders. Your comprehensive documentation proves systematic theft of marital property that justifies emergency court intervention, David noted. Jennifer's coordination with Marcus constitutes criminal conspiracy that warrants immediate asset protection measures. But the most immediate priority was preventing Jennifer and Marcus from transferring or hiding stolen assets, while investigators built comprehensive cases for both civil recovery and criminal prosecution. We need emergency court orders to freeze all assets accessed by Jennifer while preventing additional unauthorized transfers, David recommended. Their systematic theft justifies immediate judicial intervention. The criminal referral documentation I was preparing included comprehensive evidence of Jennifer's systematic asset theft, Marcus's conspiracy participation, and coordinated financial fraud that warranted prosecution under state theft and conspiracy statutes. Jennifer's activities constitute multiple criminal violations, including theft, conspiracy, and fraud, while Marcus's participation creates additional liability, David explained. The systematic nature of their financial crime supports enhanced criminal penalties. Meanwhile, I was documenting additional evidence of the psychological manipulation and financial deception that Jennifer and Marcus had used to justify their systematic theft of accumulated wealth. David, Jennifer, and Marcus characterized their asset theft as justified response to my boring approach to relationships and finances, I noted. Their psychological manipulation was designed to rationalize systematic financial fraud. The technical analysis I was conducting revealed that Jennifer's theft had affected not just operational accounts, but had also triggered security alerts for attempted unauthorized access to protected investment vehicles. Jennifer attempted to access protected trust accounts that require dual authorization and attorney oversight, I documented. Her unsuccessful access attempts prove systematic intention to steal all available marital assets. The forensic accounting that David arranged showed that Jennifer's theft had been coordinated with Marcus's business debt consolidation timing, suggesting mutual financial benefit rather than romantic relationship development. Jennifer's asset theft coincided with Marcus's business loan payments and debt consolidation activities, forensic accountant Lisa Chen calculated. The timing suggests financial conspiracy rather than romantic motivation. The divorce proceedings that Jennifer initiated 3 weeks after her departure encountered immediate complications when her attorney discovered the criminal theft charges and asset protection structures that limited her access to marital property. Jennifer's divorce attorney was unaware of the systematic asset theft and criminal exposure when filing initial proceedings, David reported. Her legal team is requesting emergency conferences after discovering the criminal implications. The family court judge assigned to divorce proceedings immediately recognized the criminal theft issues and suspended property division pending resolution of theft charges and asset recovery procedures. The court cannot proceed with marital property division while criminal theft charges are pending against one spouse, family court judge Patricia Stevens ruled. Asset protection measures will remain in place pending criminal resolution. But Jennifer's most serious error was attempting to characterize her systematic theft as legitimate access to marital assets during divorce proceedings, creating additional evidence of criminal intent and fraudulent justification. Jennifer's legal arguments claiming legitimate access to marital property contradict her systematic theft activities, David observed. Her contradictory statements create additional evidence of criminal intent. The asset recovery investigation was revealing that Jennifer and Marcus had attempted to hide stolen funds through multiple bank transfers and investment accounts designed to obscure the trail of marital asset theft. Jennifer and Marcus transferred stolen assets through multiple accounts to prevent recovery, asset recovery investigator Michael Torres reported. Their systematic hiding activities prove consciousness of guilt. The criminal investigation expanded when state prosecutors discovered that Marcus had used his business accounts to facilitate Jennifer's asset theft while creating false documentation about legitimate business transactions. Marcus's business involvement in Jennifer's asset theft creates additional criminal liability for conspiracy and money laundering, State Prosecutor Sarah Wilson explained. The comprehensive evidence compilation was supporting state criminal charges that could result in substantial prison time, plus complete restitution of stolen assets and enhanced penalties for conspiracy violations. Jennifer's documented activities support criminal charges that carry combined penalties exceeding 10 years in state prison, Prosecutor Wilson noted. The irrevocable trust structures were performing flawlessly, preventing unauthorized access while generating comprehensive evidence of attempted financial manipulation that strengthened both civil and criminal cases. Your trust arrangements have prevented major asset loss while creating overwhelming evidence for prosecution, David noted. The systematic protection is working exactly as designed. Jennifer's systematic asset theft was about to encounter coordinated legal enforcement that would ensure complete asset recovery while providing appropriate criminal accountability for coordinated financial fraud. The comprehensive asset protection I had implemented was transforming attempted wealth theft into complete legal victory while validating systematic financial planning as essential protection against trusted relationship betrayal. Have you ever required coordination between emergency court intervention and criminal prosecution to address systematic asset theft by trusted family members? Sometimes comprehensive wealth protection enables both immediate asset recovery and long-term criminal accountability for sophisticated financial fraud. The coordinated legal enforcement actions that began executing 6 weeks after Jennifer's departure created immediate pressure on both conspirators while exposing the systematic nature of their asset theft to family court judges, criminal prosecutors, and financial institutions who had been unaware of their coordinated scheme to steal accumulated marital wealth. The emergency asset freezing orders that family court judge Patricia Stevens granted, after reviewing my comprehensive evidence, immediately prevented Jennifer and Marcus from accessing or transferring any additional funds while securing the stolen $380,000 for potential recovery. Mrs. Spencer and Mr. Thompson are subject to immediate asset freezing orders pending resolution of systematic theft charges, Judge Stevens ruled after examining the documented evidence of coordinated financial fraud. Their systematic theft of marital assets warrants comprehensive protective measures. Jennifer's response to the emergency court orders revealed her growing panic as she realized that her asset theft had triggered multiple legal proceedings and potential criminal prosecution rather than the simple divorce settlement she had anticipated. Jennifer's emergency legal motions show desperation about frozen assets and recognition that her theft constitutes criminal activity, David Patterson observed. Her legal strategy indicates understanding that criminal prosecution is inevitable. The criminal charges that state prosecutors filed included systematic theft of marital property, conspiracy to defraud, and money laundering through Marcus's business accounts that carried potential sentences exceeding 15 years in combined state prison time. Mrs. Spencer and Mr. Thompson face multiple felony charges, including theft, conspiracy, and money laundering, State Prosecutor Sarah Wilson announced. Their systematic coordination to steal marital assets constitutes serious criminal activity. Marcus's involvement created additional criminal liability as prosecutors discovered that he had used his business relationships and financial knowledge to facilitate Jennifer's theft while attempting to hide stolen assets through multiple transfer mechanisms. Thompson's business participation in systematic asset theft creates enhanced criminal exposure, Prosecutor Wilson noted. His insider knowledge and conspiracy coordination support maximum criminal penalties. But the most damaging development for both conspirators was their discovery that my comprehensive asset protection had limited their theft to joint operational accounts, while preserving over $850,000 in protected investment vehicles that remained completely inaccessible. Jennifer and Marcus accessed less than 30% of total marital assets due to Robert's systematic asset protection, forensic accountant Chen calculated. Their theft was limited to operational funds while primary wealth remained protected. The irrevocable trust structures that contained our primary investment portfolio required notarized dual signatures and attorney oversight for any withdrawals, making unauthorized access impossible regardless of marital status or divorce proceedings. The protected investment accounts cannot be accessed by either spouse without comprehensive legal procedures, David explained. Jennifer's theft was limited to joint accounts, while systematic asset protection preserved primary wealth. Jennifer's divorce attorney was discovering that her client's criminal theft activities had eliminated most negotiation leverage while creating substantial legal liability that would affect any property division settlement. Mrs. Spencer's systematic theft creates criminal exposure that prevents favorable divorce settlement, Jennifer's attorney Michael Rodriguez reported to the court. Her criminal activities have compromised her legal position. The asset recovery process was proceeding rapidly as investigators traced the stolen funds through multiple accounts and identified all transfers that Jennifer and Marcus had attempted to hide from legal recovery procedures. Stolen assets have been located and secured through multiple financial institutions, asset recovery investigator Torres reported. Jennifer and Marcus's hiding attempts were unsuccessful due to comprehensive financial tracking. But Jennifer's most serious error was attempting to justify her theft through claims about emotional abuse and financial control, creating additional evidence of systematic deception and fraudulent justification for criminal activity. Jennifer's false abuse allegations contradict comprehensive evidence of systematic financial planning and joint decision-making, David documented. Her contradictory statements prove deliberate deception rather than legitimate grievances. The marriage counseling records and financial planning documentation that I provided showed collaborative decision-making and mutual participation in wealth accumulation rather than the financial control that Jennifer was claiming to justify her theft. Comprehensive marriage records prove collaborative financial planning rather than the control Jennifer claims, marriage counselor Dr. Patricia Adams testified. Their relationship showed mutual participation in wealth-building decisions. Marcus's criminal exposure was expanding as prosecutors discovered that his business debts had created financial pressure that motivated his participation in Jennifer's asset theft scheme. Thompson's business failures created financial desperation that motivated systematic theft participation, Prosecutor Wilson noted. His criminal involvement was driven by personal debt rather than romantic relationship. The plea negotiations that both conspirators' attorneys initiated revealed their recognition that the comprehensive evidence made criminal conviction inevitable while civil asset recovery was proceeding successfully. Both defendants are requesting plea negotiations due to overwhelming evidence of systematic theft, Prosecutor Wilson reported. Their criminal exposure eliminates most defense strategies. The comprehensive asset protection I had implemented was achieving complete success in preserving accumulated wealth, while providing overwhelming evidence for both criminal prosecution and civil asset recovery. Robert's systematic financial planning prevented major wealth loss while creating comprehensive evidence for prosecution, David observed. The asset protection performed exactly as designed during relationship crisis. The professional reputation enhancement I was receiving through ethical financial management during personal crisis was attracting new wealth management clients who valued proven asset protection capabilities. Spencer's handling of systematic asset theft demonstrates exactly the kind of financial protection we need for wealth preservation, noted new client testimonial from business owner Robert Kim. Jennifer's systematic asset theft was about to result in comprehensive criminal accountability while validating sophisticated financial planning as essential protection against relationship betrayal and emotional manipulation. The coordinated legal response had transformed attempted wealth theft into complete legal victory, while demonstrating the value of systematic asset protection for high-net-worth professionals facing personal relationship crises. Have you ever seen systematic asset theft completely defeated through comprehensive wealth protection that preserved accumulated assets while enabling criminal prosecution? Sometimes sophisticated financial planning provides both immediate asset security and long-term legal accountability for coordinated financial fraud. The comprehensive resolution of Jennifer's asset theft case occurred within 8 months of her initial departure, delivering complete asset recovery, enhanced wealth protection, and criminal accountability that exceeded initial expectations, while establishing new standards for protecting accumulated wealth from systematic relationship betrayal and emotional manipulation. Jennifer's guilty plea on criminal theft charges included systematic theft of marital property, conspiracy with Marcus, and attempted fraud that resulted in 3 years of supervised probation, plus complete restitution of stolen assets and community service requirements. Mrs. Spencer's systematic theft of marital assets represents a serious violation of trust and criminal law, Judge Patricia Stevens stated during sentencing. Her coordination with Mr. Thompson to steal accumulated wealth warrants substantial accountability measures. Marcus's guilty plea on conspiracy and money laundering charges resulted in 2 years in state prison, plus complete asset forfeiture and restitution obligations that would extend throughout his parole period. Mr. Thompson's business facilitation of systematic asset theft constitutes serious criminal activity that warrants imprisonment, Judge Stevens noted. His exploitation of trusted friendship for financial crime requires maximum accountability. But beyond criminal resolution, the case had created comprehensive validation of systematic asset protection as essential wealth preservation during relationship crises and emotional manipulation attempts. Spencer's comprehensive asset protection provided the evidentiary foundation for complete asset recovery and successful criminal prosecution, Asset Protection Institute Director David Martinez noted. His systematic approach should be adopted by all high-net-worth professionals facing relationship vulnerabilities. The professional opportunities that resulted from my ethical handling of the asset theft exceeded anything my original marriage relationship had provided for business development. Spencer Wealth Strategies, the expanded practice I established using recovered assets and enhanced reputation, was attracting high-net-worth clients who valued proven asset protection and systematic wealth preservation during personal crises. Robert's exposure of systematic asset theft demonstrates exactly the kind of financial protection we need for preserving accumulated wealth, noted client testimonial from medical practice owner Dr. Jennifer Adams. The wealth management practice was generating annual revenue of $720,000 while providing professional satisfaction that focused on advanced asset protection rather than personal relationship management and theft prevention. Independent wealth management, with comprehensive asset protection, allows complete focus on client financial security, I reflected during professional development presentations. The former clients who expanded their relationships with Spencer Wealth Strategies represented validation that my financial expertise and ethical standards created more value than traditional wealth management approaches. Robert's systematic approach to asset protection and ethical wealth management provides security and reliability that justify premium financial planning fees, explained client retention metrics showing 94% of major relationships continuing with expanded service agreements. The speaking opportunities at wealth management conferences and asset protection seminars were generating additional revenue while establishing my reputation as an expert in relationship-proof financial planning and systematic wealth preservation. Spencer's experience demonstrates how comprehensive asset protection can prevent and defeat systematic wealth theft, observed conference organizer Patricia Newman. The Institute for Asset Protection had implemented enhanced wealth preservation recommendations based on my case, creating new industry standards for protecting accumulated assets from relationship manipulation and emotional decision-making. Spencer's protection protocols have become model practices for wealth managers seeking to prevent asset theft while maintaining client financial security, Institute Director Lisa Chen noted. Jennifer's complete professional and personal destruction served as wealth management industry warning about the consequences of systematic asset theft and the importance of ethical relationship management during financial crises. The Spencer case sends clear messages about criminal consequences for systematic wealth theft and relationship manipulation, legal analyst Robert Wilson observed. But the most meaningful outcome was validation of systematic financial planning and comprehensive asset protection as reliable wealth preservation during unpredictable relationship changes and personal betrayal. Jennifer's prosecution proves that systematic asset protection and ethical wealth management create sustainable competitive advantages, I observed during ethics workshops. The wealth management industry recognition I received for asset protection expertise had generated consultation opportunities and strategic partnerships that exceeded the financial benefits of traditional marital wealth accumulation. Spencer's ethical handling of asset theft demonstrates wealth management integrity that attracts both clients and industry collaboration opportunities, financial consultant Sarah Davis noted. The enhanced asset protection capabilities I had developed using case experience were providing additional service offerings and professional recognition that reflected superior wealth preservation expertise. Spencer Wealth Strategies' proven asset protection and comprehensive wealth management provide security that exceeds traditional financial planning approaches, client testimonial showed. The comprehensive legal victory had demonstrated that systematic financial planning and ethical wealth management provided more reliable asset security than relationship arrangements based on emotional trust rather than verified legal protection. Professional competence in asset protection creates wealth security that transcends individual relationship changes, I noted during wealth management seminars. Jennifer's systematic asset theft during our marriage dissolution had inadvertently created opportunities for enhanced wealth management independence professional recognition, and meaningful financial relationships that exceeded anything our original marriage could have achieved. Sometimes the most systematic financial betrayal creates catalysts for independent success and enhanced protection standards, I reflected during professional development workshops. The asset protection methods that had defeated Jennifer's theft were being adopted by wealth management firms while generating ongoing consultation revenue and industry leadership recognition. Spencer's wealth protection protocols provide comprehensive security against relationship manipulation while supporting legitimate asset accumulation, noted licensing agreement with National Asset Protection Association. Jennifer's attempt to steal accumulated wealth while exploiting emotional relationship manipulation had ultimately created opportunities for enhanced wealth management independence, professional leadership, and meaningful client relationships that exceeded anything traditional marriage arrangements could have provided. The systematic approach to asset protection that had defeated coordinated financial theft was providing sustainable competitive advantages that attracted the most sophisticated wealth preservation clients available to independent financial advisors. Have you ever discovered that systematic asset protection could transform attempted wealth theft into opportunities for enhanced financial independence and professional recognition? Sometimes comprehensive financial planning becomes the foundation for business success that exceeds traditional relationship wealth accumulation. Standing in the penthouse office of Spencer Wealth Strategies, 18 months after Jennifer's conviction and Marcus's imprisonment, I reflected on how their systematic attempt to steal our accumulated wealth had inadvertently transformed my career from traditional wealth management to industry leadership in relationship-proof asset protection and comprehensive financial security. The independent wealth management firm had grown to generate $960,000 in annual revenue while serving ultra-high net worth clients who valued proven asset protection above traditional financial planning approaches. The 4,200 square foot executive suite overlooked downtown's financial district, accommodating advanced wealth management technology and comprehensive client consultation facilities that supported both routine investment management and specialized asset protection consulting that had become my professional specialty through industry recognition and enhanced credentials. Working with a wealth manager who has personally tested comprehensive asset protection provides confidence and security that eliminates concerns about relationship manipulation and emotional decision-making, noted senior investment advisor Patricia Lynch, a former J.P. Morgan private banker who had joined our team. The wealth management practice I had established was generating substantially higher income than my original marriage-based financial planning, while providing professional satisfaction that focused on advanced asset preservation rather than personal relationship management and theft prevention. Spencer Wealth Strategies' systematic approach to asset protection and comprehensive financial security provides wealth preservation that exceeds traditional investment management standards, client testimonial from technology entrepreneur Michael Torres noted. The business expansion that had resulted from Jennifer's prosecution, combined with industry recognition for asset protection expertise, had created professional opportunities that exceeded anything achievable through traditional marriage-based wealth accumulation strategies. Robert's transformation from theft victim to industry asset protection leader demonstrates how systematic integrity and comprehensive financial planning create lasting competitive advantages in wealth management, Financial Planning Quarterly observed. But the most significant achievement was industry recognition that established me as the definitive expert in relationship-proof asset protection and systematic wealth preservation for high net worth professionals facing personal relationship vulnerabilities. Spencer's experience provides unique insights into preventing and defeating systematic wealth theft that threatens both individual financial security and family wealth preservation, Wealth Management Review noted. The Institute for Fiduciary Excellence had requested my participation in developing enhanced asset protection standards and relationship-proof wealth preservation protocols that would protect high net worth families from systematic financial manipulation and emotional decision-making. Spencer's asset protection methods and wealth theft prevention expertise provide essential guidance for strengthening family wealth preservation throughout the financial planning industry, Institute Ethics Committee Chair Colonel David Martinez explained. Annual speaking engagements at wealth management conferences, asset protection seminars, and fiduciary responsibility workshops were generating supplemental income of $140,000 while reinforcing my expertise in systematic financial planning and ethical wealth preservation. Spencer's systematic approach to relationship-proof asset protection has become the industry standard for wealth managers serving high-net-worth professionals facing relationship vulnerabilities, National Association of Estate Planners President Jennifer Adams observed. Jennifer's 3-year probation sentence had concluded with complete asset restitution, mandatory financial counseling, and permanent restrictions on her ability to access protected investment vehicles or serve as financial decision-maker for major assets. Jennifer Spencer's systematic wealth theft resulted in the most comprehensive asset protection prosecution in family court history, Prosecutor Wilson noted. Her case demonstrates that coordinated financial manipulation carries serious legal consequences that cannot be avoided through emotional justification or relationship claims. Marcus's 2-year imprisonment had concluded with complete asset forfeiture, permanent exclusion from financial services employment, and ongoing restitution obligations that would continue throughout his parole supervision period. Thompson's conspiracy to facilitate systematic wealth theft resulted in career destruction and criminal accountability that serves as warning throughout the financial services industry, Prosecutor Wilson observed. But their prosecutions had also created enhanced protection for wealth management industry integrity by establishing legal precedents that strengthened asset protection enforcement and professional fiduciary standards. The Spencer case clarified legal enforcement capabilities for systematic wealth theft and established deterrent effects throughout the financial planning profession. Legal analyst Robert Kim observed, "The asset protection methodologies I had developed and refined through personal experience with coordinated wealth theft were generating licensing revenue from financial planning firms who needed proven protection frameworks while ensuring proper legal implementation and ethical oversight." Spencer's wealth protection protocols provide comprehensive security against relationship manipulation while supporting legitimate family wealth accumulation and intergenerational transfer, noted licensing agreement with International Asset Protection Network. The professional reputation I had built through ethical crisis management was attracting strategic consultation opportunities with major wealth management organizations who valued, demonstrated asset protection expertise and systematic financial security capabilities. Spencer Wealth Strategies' proven protection standards and comprehensive asset security expertise make them ideal partners for the most sophisticated wealth preservation initiatives and family financial protection programs, explained consulting agreement with Swiss-based Wealth Management Consortium. Looking back on Jennifer's systematic betrayal and Marcus's conspiracy to steal our accumulated wealth, I realized that their sophisticated financial manipulation had inadvertently created opportunities for professional growth, industry leadership, and wealth management success that exceeded anything traditional marriage-based financial planning could have provided. Sometimes the most comprehensive financial betrayal becomes the catalyst for professional development and industry recognition that transforms entire career trajectories into wealth management leadership, I observed during fiduciary excellence conferences. The systematic asset protection that had defeated coordinated wealth theft was serving as the foundation for expanded consultation services that helped other financial professionals prevent relationship manipulation while maintaining ethical wealth management standards and comprehensive client protection. Jennifer's theft attempt validated the commercial value of systematic asset protection while creating legal precedents that enhanced industry-wide wealth preservation capabilities, I noted during professional development workshops. The comprehensive legal victory had demonstrated that systematic financial planning and ethical asset protection provided more reliable wealth security than relationship arrangements based on emotional trust rather than verified legal safeguards and professional oversight. Professional competence in systematic asset protection and ethical wealth management creates sustainable competitive advantages that transcend individual relationship changes or emotional manipulation attempts, I explained during fiduciary responsibility presentations. Jennifer's attempt to steal our accumulated wealth while exploiting relationship trust and emotional manipulation had ultimately strengthened my professional position while creating consultation opportunities and industry recognition that established Spencer Wealth Strategies as the nation's leading advocate for relationship-proof wealth management and comprehensive asset protection. The people who attempt to exploit trusted relationships through systematic wealth theft sometimes end up creating opportunities for their victims to achieve greater success through validated expertise and comprehensive financial security standards, I reflected during wealth management leadership seminars. The experience had proven that professional competence in systematic asset protection and ethical financial planning could transform attempted wealth theft into enhanced business success and industry authority that exceeded original marriage-based wealth accumulation strategies. Jennifer's systematic financial manipulation had inadvertently provided the foundation for building industry leadership, professional recognition, and wealth management expansion that represented the most successful and meaningful period in my 22-year financial planning career. Professional relationships built on systematic integrity and verified protection standards prove more durable and valuable than personal relationships based on emotional trust that can be compromised through financial desperation and relationship manipulation. The wealth management firm that had emerged from coordinated theft attempts was generating higher revenue, enhanced industry recognition, and more meaningful client relationships than anything traditional marriage-based financial planning could have achieved. Have you discovered that systematic asset protection and ethical wealth management can transform attempted financial theft into opportunities for professional growth and industry leadership? Sometimes, the most sophisticated relationship manipulation becomes the foundation for building enhanced competitive advantages through validated expertise and comprehensive financial security. If this story of systematic asset protection and wealth management ethics resonated with you, please hit that subscribe button to Revenge Tales with Luke. Share your experiences with financial betrayal and asset protection in the comments below. Your story might help someone else who's facing similar challenges with relationship manipulation and systematic wealth theft. See you in our next story.